Today's Giving Tuesday, which is something I don't necessarily understand. It seems like any day of the week would be good for giving. But on this Giving Tuesday, I want you to understand a little bit about Georgia Center for Opportunity. And I want to start with a story. In 1728, a British citizen by the name of Robert Castell was thrown into one of London's most notorious prisons for his inability to pay his debts. At that time, prisoners were often required to pay prison fees in exchange for room and board. Well, for obvious reasons, Castell couldn't even pay those. And so he was tossed into a cell with a prisoner who was suffering from smallpox. And soon thereafter, Castell himself contracted the disease, fell ill, and died. In response to his death, one of Castell's friends, a British general, launched a nationwide campaign and served on a parliamentary committee to reform England's prisons. And those reform efforts met with success, and the general's reputation for humanitarian concern and his passion for reform gained him national notoriety and respect. And those reforms, again, did have a positive impact, but it wasn't enough. The general recognized that while those reforms helped some, they did very little to alleviate the suffering and address the challenges faced by the poor. And so he and some of his colleagues began to explore the idea of establishing a new colony in the Americas, a colony that would be committed to human dignity and to opportunity. You see, they believed that the poor, if given a real opportunity, could flourish. They could become artisans and merchants and farmers. Well, that general was James Edward Oglethorpe, and the colony he founded was the colony of Georgia. So committed were Oglethorpe and the original colonial trustees to human dignity and to opportunity for the poor, that they adopted the Latin motto, non sibi sed alis, which means not for self, but for others. And so committed were they to human dignity and to opportunity that Georgia was the only colony among the original 13 that prohibited slavery. Now, we cannot gloss over the tragedy and the suffering that resulted from decisions made decades later. But we should also remember that Oglethorpe, throughout his life, to the very end of his life, remained committed to opportunity and human dignity and remained committed to abolishing slavery. In fact, he said that slavery was, in his own words, against the gospel and against the fundamental law of England. He also said that to allow slavery in Georgia would be to go against the principles around which he and the colonial founders associated in the first place, which was, in his words, to relieve the distressed. So why do I tell this story? It's because this land that we call home, Georgia, is rooted in a vision that is noble, inspired, and even now inspiring. It's a vision of opportunity, not for some, but for all. And that's what Georgia Center for Opportunity is all about. We are working our hardest to make sure that all Georgians have a real chance to prosper. And we do that by really focusing on 3 priority issues: education, employment, and family formation. I hope you'll take some time to learn more about the Georgia Center for Opportunity. You can do so by visiting our website, and I hope you'll also consider giving a gift to GCO. You can give a gift on this Giving Tuesday or any other day of the week. Thank you.